If you use an outdated term or an out-of-date narrative, that shows that you are no longer at the center of the tribe. And life is much better if you get to live at the center of the tribe. If you're Mr. Popularity, such as myself, everyone in the group is trying to out-signal each other with sophisticated analysis. And that way, the elite group tend to drift further and further from the vulgar reality of the masses. So this creates a feedback loop where the only way to gain status is to be even more aggressively elite than the person next to you. You think my life is easy? So groupthink is easier to hide in elite circles because it is wrapped in the mantle of expertise. You must trust the experts. So if MAGA or populists or Republicans or some kind of populist group agree on something, it's a mob. If an elite group agrees on something, it's a consensus of experts. When an elite group's narrative is challenged, they don't just ignore the challenge, they use complexity to bury it. They create moats of jargon and credentials that make it impossible for an outsider to critique them. Well, have you read this book? So the rabble is loud, the rabble is erratic, but the rabble will be more ideologically diverse because they have less to lose. The elites are trapped in a high-pressure status game where correctness is determined by the group's current coordination needs, not by objective truth. So in the Washington Post review, the critic feels comfortable using terms like white grievance as if it was a settled scientific fact because it is the required password for entry into this high-status conversation.
Populist and, stick the knife in these people who had once, been his friends and his, his allies and his cheerleaders.
Yeah, to a level of success that is almost unimaginable. I mean, like 4 million people a night were watching that show or something like that. I mean, it's unbelievable numbers in cable.
It was so different from the other Fox shows. If you tuned into Hannity or you tuned into Laura Ingraham, like you knew what you were going to get. Right? Like Tucker was like pretty unpredictable.